Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2020 Victorian Open Championships and the World Para Swimming World Series Round 1. I'm going to hand you over to the President of Swimming Victoria, Susan Smith, for the opening ceremony.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you on behalf of Swimming Victoria to the 2020 Victorian Open Championships, which is again incorporating the first round of the World Para Swimming World Series. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land we hold this event, the Yalukit William clan of the Boon Wurrung, and pay my respect to elders past and present. Can I now ask everybody to stand for our national anthem?
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounded nature's gift of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you, Christy. Over the next couple of days, this pool will be buzzing with over 700 of the most talented swimmers taking part in over 2,800 swims, representing 150 teams. This is the most we've ever seen in any Swimming Victoria competition. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all our visiting competitors from interstate and overseas. We have swimmers from all over Australia, as well as 16 different countries competing, making it a very strong field for this event. There's no doubt we're going to see some exciting competition and many memorable moments over the weekend. Of course, we could not hold these competitions without the assistance of our sponsors and supporters, Evo Sportswear, Funky Trunks and Fakita, Physio Health, Mountain Shade and Swim Merch. I'd like to thank each of them for their ongoing investment in our great sport. I'd also like to acknowledge the support of Vic Health, the Victorian Institute of Sport, and the Victorian Government, who continually back swimming in our state. Once again, our Swimming Victoria team has done an amazing job pulling this competition together. The team works timelessly to deliver high-quality competitions such as this, and I would like to thank each of them. And finally, our state championships would not be possible without the dedicated work of our volunteers and technical officials, and I acknowledge those technical officials who are also joining us from interstate and overseas. Before we start these championships, we would like to recognise some of the great performances achieved at the 2020 Victorian Age Championships held in December. I now welcome Glenn Berrigan, who's the National Youth Coach, to present these awards. Thanks, Glenn. The first award is the Henry B. Ive Trophy. This trophy is awarded to the male achieving the highest number of aggregate points in all strokes in the 12, 13 and 13 age groups at the Victorian Long Course Championships. And the winner is Rio Hariashi of Burbank Aquastars. The next award is the Marilyn Wilson Trophy, awarded to the most outstanding 12 to 18-year-old female age group backstroker in the Victorian Long Course Championships, and is based on FINA point score, performance related to either a 100 or 200 metre event. And the winner is Lala Day from Bendigo East Swimming Club. The Judy Joy Davis Trophy, awarded to the female scoring the highest number of aggregate points across all strokes in the 16 to 18 age group at the Victorian Long Course Championships. And the winner is Tara Kinder of DVE Aquatic. The Herald Trophy is awarded to the female scoring the highest number of aggregate points across all strokes in the 14 and 15 age groups at the Victorian Long Course Championships. And the winner is Lucy Webster from Nunawading Swimming Club. The Doris Quinton Trophy is awarded to the female scoring the highest number of aggregate points across all strokes in the 12, 12, 13 and 13 age groups at the Victorian Long Course Championships. And the winner is Romy Hurd from Melbourne H2O. City of Melbourne medallions are awarded to the male and female scoring the highest number of aggregate points in freestyle events in the 16 to 18 years age group at the Victorian Long Course Championships. The female winner is Tara Kinder, DVE Aquatic. And the male winner is Silas Harris from Northcote Swimming and Life Saving Club. Thank you, Glenn. And well done all our award winners. I would now like to welcome Matthew Temple from the Nunawading Swimming Club to recite the athlete oath on behalf of all athletes competing. Matthew made his dolphin debut when selected for the 219 World Championships.
In the name of all competitors, I promise that we'll take part in these championships, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern them. In the true spirit of sportsmanship, for the glory of our sport and the honour of our clubs. Thank you.
Thanks, Matthew. Please welcome Linda Anthonson, member of the Technical Officials and Development Committee and one of our most dedicated technical officials, to recite the athlete's oath on behalf of the technical officials.
In the name of all officials, I promise that we will officiate in these championships with complete impartiality, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern them in the true spirit of sportsmanship.
Thanks, Linda. Now please welcome Brian Miller, head coach from DVE Aquatic. Brian was selected as a coach for the 2019 Junior Pan Pacs team, and Brian will now recite the coach's oath on behalf of all coaches.
In the name of all coaches, I promise that we will take part in these championships, respecting and abiding the rules in which govern them, in the true spirit of sportsmanship, for the glory of the sport and the honour of our clubs. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Finally, to all our competing athletes, it's time for you to put all your hard work that you've done in your training and all your skills to the ultimate test in this competition. I wish you all the very best of luck and hope that you achieve your goals this weekend. Above all, let's remember to have fun and enjoy the 2020 Victorian Open Championships. Thank you.
The first event on the program is the mixed open 50 metre freestyle relay.
And welcome to the second session of the Victorian Open Long Course Championships for 2020. I'm your host, Robert Winston, and I am joined by General Manager of Swimming Victoria, Tim Frampton. Absolute pleasure to be here, Tim, poolside here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. We've got a huge lineup tonight, and we saw the qualifying session earlier this morning, and the best of the best have made it through to the second phase, and I cannot wait for these finals tonight.
Good evening, Rob. Yes, we had an action-packed morning this morning. Finals tonight, plus a couple of the last timed finals. Blue ribbon events, the 100-metre freeze for male and female, both on tonight. So stay tuned for that. We're just making sure all of the technical aspects are working correctly, in particular the touchpads and the overhead timing cameras, and so that's the reason for the delay. We will be underway
very shortly.
But let's have a look at some of the events on the program this evening.
So we've got event one, the mixed open 4x50 freestyle relay. That would be interesting. That's our first event for tonight, kicking off at 6 p.m.
And that is an absolute splash and dash. So the relays are lots of fun.
Event number two, we have the men 12 and over 400 freestyle multi-class. So that's scheduled for 6:06. So we'll be smashing through these seats. Event number three, the women 12 and over 400 freestyle multi-class, scheduled for 6:15. Event four, the men's open 400 freestyle, scheduled for 6:21 p.m. tonight. As you can see, the swimmers warming up in the background there. They look excited. This is why they swim, and they certainly deserve to be here. Event five, we've got the women open 50 butterfly. So they'll, as you say, a race, a real run and dash type of race at 6:34 p.m. Event number six, we have the men's open 200 butterfly. This is one of my favourite events, Tim. And that's scheduled for 6:38 p.m. tonight.
You were a swimmer, Rob. Was that one of your strokes? Was that one of your pet strokes, the butterfly?
Look, I gave it a crack, but I was no good at it. Tim. But
and don't forget that we've also got, with all the para swimmers here from around Victoria, Australia and internationally, they're all here because of it's round one of the World Para Swimming World Series. The second time it's been here in Melbourne. They were here last year and had such a good time. They wanted to come back. So the best of the best in para swimming is right here at MSAC in Melbourne. So do yourself a favour, as Molly would say, and get on down here to watch this fantastic action. If you can't make it down tonight, we're back tomorrow in the morning for heats and then tomorrow night for finals. And again on Sunday morning and Sunday evening for finals again. So as I said, do yourself a favour and get down and watch some of the world's best in the pool here at MSAC.
And as you say, Tim, it's definitely worth getting down here. It's free entry all weekend. And if you want to come down and check out some of the top talent around Australia and around the world, the MSAC is the place to be all weekend. Our first events tomorrow morning kick off at 8:30. That will be the qualifying day number 2, and then we'll be back at the same time tomorrow night for finals at 5:40 p.m. and then the same again on Sunday.
I think it's 6 p.m. for finals Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so more than welcome. It's a free event. Bring your kids, bring your friends, bring your family. It's certainly a good way to get introduced to the sport, especially for the youngsters, Tim. I think we always need that next generation of swimmers coming through the ranks. And I think to make them fall in love with swimming, it's always a good way just to see the professionals do it and see how they go about their work.
And I think we're almost ready. It looks like the officials are set. Yes, there's a whistle. So these are timed finals, these 2 relays. So that means it's the fastest 3 times from the 2 swims.
So often racing.
In lane 2, Yeronga Park. Lane 3, Northcote A. Lane 4, Castle Hill Dolphins A. Lane 5, Southport Olympic Swimming Club B. And in lane 6, it's EC Waves A.
So as the swimmers come up for the first leg, it's going to be interesting to see.
And this is mixed, so it's a male and female in the pool. You can choose which one goes in which leg. So the next leg we've got 4 females up against 1 male.
So in the water currently is Mick Pumper in lane 2, Jade Carr in lane 3, Jay Morrissey in lane 4, Donk Kwan in lane 5, and Mara Rushki in lane number 6.
And Northcote taking that at the halfway mark.
So it's Carr Jade for Northcote, bringing it home really strongly on the third leg of this swim.
But have a look at it. Annalie Goulet, who swam a great leg in that last one for EC Waves.
So it's
close.
Very close. So it's going to be Northcote to hit the final leg of this. So it's Maury Ala Morrow. The time is 1:17.40. In second, we have Mika Smith. In third, we have Mac Parker. And they're going to bring it home. So it's all about Northcote. Burn Walls all the way, freestyle.
Mia Burns Walsh will take this out. But remember, it's the time that's important.
And it's Northcote who hit the ball first.
1:44.63.
Done really well there. Northcote, a very strong swim club from the northern parts of Victoria. And that was a great race to watch. It's a real...
It's hard to watch that because the names are often the ones that have just swum. So just concentrate on the clubs. Next up, got all 10 lanes in action now. Lane 0, MLC Aquatic. Lane 1, Furbank. 2, Nunawading. 3, MLC Aquatic. 4, Nunawading. 5, Southport Olympic. 6, Western Melbourne Propulsion. Next to them, Auburn in 7. Melbourne Vic Centre in 8. And Surrey Park A in 9. There are some big names of Victorian swimming clubs and also interstate clubs. This should be an absolute cracker.
So out of the blocks beautifully is Nunawading swimming, followed by Southport Olympic. Auburn off to a good start, and they're going to hit the wall in quick time, in about 22 seconds.
Matt Temple, great swim there for Nunna.
Luke Zubik in second position and Jar Gerard in third. So Southport Olympic get a good advantage.
Vic Centre in 8, putting real pressure on Nunna.
And it's
Luke Gebby, great swim there. Hit the water together on the changeover.
So Nunawading in the early lead. Rice, Andre.
Vic Centre. Elise Woods might be just in front for Vic Centre from Julia Hawkins and Nunawading. This last 50, no. Hawkins just touched ahead.
So Hawkins due for Nunawading in 1:11.49, followed by Elise Woods for Melbourne Vic. And in third, we have Nuttawading. So
Chantel Underwood in the water for Nuttawading, and Cotty Nagawati, for Vic Centre. Can she come over the top? Chantel Underwood is a fantastic swimmer. It's Nuttawading going to hit the wall first.
So Underwood hits the wall first, and they have beaten their PB slightly by a couple of seconds there with a time of 1 minute 36. Their previous best was 1 minute 41, so they've done really well in the teams event here. And it's a real run and dash style of swimming.
It is, and I think you'll find the medalists will come from that that timed final, given the top 3 times in that.
So event number 2 on the cards tonight. We have the men's 12 and over 400 metre freestyle multi-class. So as the listeners would have heard earlier today, we have different classes for the para swimmers, and there's a great field here today. Plenty of internationals as well. We've got participants from New Zealand, USA, and all over Australia, some of the strongest swimming clubs. So it's going to be exciting, this next phase of racing.
And let's have a look at who we've got. In lane 0, Matthew Levy. Lane 1, Robert Griswold. Lane 2, Jesse Reynolds. Lane 3, Brendan Hall. Lane 4, Joshua Alford. Lane 5, Braden Jason. Lane 6, Alexander Tuckfield. Next to him, Harrison Vig from Brisbane Jets. Lane 8, Ben Popham. And lane 9, one of our US friends, Evan Austin. We had John from the US on the feed this morning. I hope you're there again today, John. Say good day, or anyone else on the Facebook feed there. Say hello in the chat. We'll give you a big shout out.
So 400 metre, varying ages. Matthew Levy, age 33, and the youngest participant is Alexander Tuckfield at the young age of only 15.
And remember, it's not about who hits the wall first. If you were watching this feed this morning, with the para swimming, there are points awarded depending on what classification you are and what your time is compared to the world record time for your classification and event. So it's a bit complex, but there's a computer program running in the background which will calculate all those points. We did have some problems with it this morning. Hopefully it'll be up and running tonight, and we'll be able to give you those points shortly after the event has finished.
So early on this race, it looks like Hall has got off to a great start along with Tuckerfield. It'll be interesting to see who hits the wall first after his first 50 metres, and it's actually Alford in the time of 29.02, Tuckerfield coming second, 29.14, and Hall, as I said before, 29.89.
And Harrison Vig, Tuckfield and Brendan Hall, all S9 category swimmers, so in effect they are racing against each other. And
so the orders remain the same, the second leg of the 50. So
400.
400, should I say, of this 50, should I say?
Yeah, this 50.
So Alford coming in first, Tuckerfield second, third Hall. Griswold hits the line in fourth, then Reynolds from New Zealand, fifth, Vig sixth, Popham seventh, and in lane 9, Austin coming eighth. So setting a good pace here are the swimmers, but it's Alford setting the tone at the moment here as they about to hit the wall for the third time around. And Alford extends his lead by a couple of seconds. So he's got a time of 1:32.98. Hall, a couple of seconds behind, 1:34.47. Jason, 1:35.70. And the rest of the field are chasing the leader in Alford.
And Cindy Hickmott giving us a shout out on the Facebook. Very jealous. The Pukehoe girls in New Zealand are having a wine. I'm waiting for the boys to race. We'll have one for us, Cindy.
Sounds good. I hope you're enjoying your wine down there in New Zealand. So
it's good wine over there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We love our wine here in Australia and abroad, of course. So Alford He's maintained that lead of a couple of seconds over Hall. Third position is Jason Tuckerfield coming fourth. And it's even Stevens between Vig, Reynolds and Griswold. And Matthew Levy currently trailing in this one along with Austin. So Alford.
Again, don't look at the places too much, but keep your eye on the times. And
it's about, depending on what category they are in the S.
Have a look at the S9 swimmers together. Hall, Tuckfield and Harrison Vig. It's a bit of a battle going on there, so don't worry about the placings.
So Alford leading this race. Griswold 4 seconds behind currently, and Vig, as you said, Tim, he's a couple of seconds behind further. So we're currently counting down to about 3 minutes 10. And we've got another 100 to go. So it's going to be interesting to see. Alford hits the wall in first position, followed by Hall. Then Jason in third. And as you said, Alford is about to probably come up with about 125 metres to go in this race. And Vig is not too far behind. So he's going to have to really steam home here, Alford. Great stroke. And he's been fantastic from start to finish. So they're going to come down. This is the last 50. Alford turns for home. 3 minutes 43. Hall, 3 minutes 44. And then Jason in third, 3 minutes 45. So Alford's going to really try and steam it home here. 25 metres to go in this race. Racing against his own PB is Alford. He's got a currently best time of 4 minutes 13.
He's going to go under that.
He's going to go under. He hits the wall. And he's just gone over it. So he finishes Alford with a time of 4 minutes 14:37, about just under a second under his PB. Jason with a time of 4 minutes 15:94. Hall coming in third. And as the other swimmers finish off this race, it was really Alford from start to finish, Tim.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see the point score to see who actually takes that one out.
Great sportsmanship between Alford and Jason there in lanes 4 and 5. Great to see.
Yeah, well, these guys swim against each other a lot, and great competitors, but also great mates.
So you can hear that whistle in the background. So we'll be coming up to event number 3 after this.
Some big names.
So it's
in the next event. We do clear the pool for finals, so Paul Malcolm's given us a shout out on the Facebook, loving our work. Thanks very much, Paul.
Make sure you give it a share on your socials. The more the merrier. It's great to have everyone on board this Friday night swim meet. And what a day of racing it's been so far, and what a next couple of days he's going to be racing over Saturday and Sunday. Some of the best swimmers from around the country and also from around the world.
And have a look at the swimmers in this next race. We've got Ellie Cole, Australian Paralympic legend, triple Paralympian, 15 Paralympic medals to her name, 6 gold, 4 silver and 5 bronze. We've got Monique Murphy, another Paralympian and medalist. Lakeisha Patterson, we talked about her this morning, nicknamed Lucky.
She just got the lucky chant from the crowd too, Tim.
Oh, very good. Commonwealth Games, World Para Swimming Champs, Pan Pacific Para Champ medalist. She's done a lot of swimming, a lot of winning in her career.
So the women 12 and over 400 metre freestyle multi-class. Just keep in mind, viewers, that it doesn't necessarily mean the first to touch the wall. So
We've got a full field. No, we're missing lane 1. We're missing Poppy Wilson.
She hasn't started, so often racing here in this 400-metre women's freestyle event.
And Jane on the Facebook says, go Ellie. That'll be Ellie Cole. So keep an eye on her. Cole's in lane 7.
So great start by all the women. And Wilson has been disqualified in lane number 1. So she...
No, that's a DNC. He hasn't been disqualified. You got to swim to be disqualified, so she just didn't turn up. Withdrew from the final.
So currently leading is Dee Kind, 2nd Lucy, 3rd Murphy, 4th Netzel, 5th Patterson, and the rest of the field are chasing the tail. So in this,
they're chasing their time, chasing their best time. It's pretty tight across the pool, as you might expect in the first 100. It's probably the second and third hundreds where you might sort it out.
so still currently lead in is Denny Kind, followed by Patterson, and then Lucy in 3rd position.
But that is very tight. Throw a blanket across those 4.
So 150 metres approaching to the beginning of this 400-metre event.
Another comment in the chat, which is in a completely unintelligible language to me. I apologise. I can't shout out. Replying to Julie. And my device has not got the translate on it, so I can't tell you what they're saying.
And 1, 2, 3, Denny Kind, Patterson, Neitzel in 3rd.
Great to have you with us anyway.
Looks like it's written in Arabic there, Tim.
It does.
I wish I could speak it, but I can't.
Maybe we should have a contest for who's the furthest away, which viewer is the furthest away from IMSAC. Let us know where you are so we can give you a big shout out as the person furthest away watching this great stream brought to you by our good friends at Big Voice Media, doing a great job for us.
So it looks like Patterson's made a little bit of ground in that 4th leg of this 400. Patterson just hit the wall in front of Denny Kind, 2 minutes 19.81, and Neitzel in 3rd position, Cole in 4th, and Murphy in 5th. So it's really a race between 3 at the moment, Tim. And these girls are going hammer and tong, trying to gain the advantage. And it looks like Patterson's extended her lead over Denny Kind by around half a body length at the moment. So they come up for the 250-metre mark of this race, and it's Patterson who turns in 1st position. Denny Kind in 2nd, Neitzel in 3rd, Murphy 4th, Cole in 5th, and the rest of the swimmers trying to beat their own personal best times. So Patterson in control here.
And we've just been joined at the desk by Anthony Schlicht, technical official. Oh, Stephen Maloney. I thought I misread my roster. I beg your pardon. We'll have Anthony on later. I did see him here earlier before. I thought he was up first. Stephen Maloney's joined us. Stephen, also a technical official.
Welcome back to the broadcast, Stephen.
Was with us this morning and father of 2 national age swimmers, so he's seen a bit of this in his time. Welcome, Steve.
Very much, Tim, and thank you, Rob. It's great to be here, and it's a dreadful shame to be compared to Anthony. And notwithstanding all of that, it's so happy days here. We've got a beautiful night tonight. It's a little bit humid. Wilson Sim might recognise the weather patterns, and USC Spartans with the 3rd place swimmer Denny Kind is doing a pretty fine job there given her classification. I must say that it's the Ballarat gold swimmer Lakeisha Patterson.
So it's all Patterson in this race. She's absolutely storming home, and she's beaten her PB, absolutely smashed her BP. 4 minutes, 40 seconds, 42. Her previous best was 4 minutes, 48.15. In second, Neitzel, 4 minutes 46.70. In third, we have Murphy, 4 minutes 46.88. Just pipped by Neitzel there. And the rest of the field still finishing off.
And Julie Watts in New Zealand. She's obviously had a wine or two. She's supporting the Pukehoe boys. Paul Malcolm, he might have had a wine because he's made another comment. And he says hello to Mr. Maloney.
Just get that a little bit closer. Mr. Maloney.
Paul Malcolm saying hello to you, Mr. Maloney.
Oh, Paul, it's great to see Emma having a PB this morning, I think, and great to see you watching us here on the live stream. Now we're in for a big race now. This is one of the well, perhaps even tonight anyway, the blue ribbon event. I know they've got the 100 free, but we've got
look at the names in this.
Unbelievable. Some huge names. Kicking off in lane 0 will be Silas Harris
from Northcote.
Lane number 1, Cameron McAvoy from TWC Aquatic. Lane 2, Wilson Sin from Malaysia. Lane 3, Brendan Smith from Nuttawading. Lane 4, Jack McLaughlin from Chandler Swimming Club. Lane 5, the gold medalist at Rio, Matt Horton from Melbourne Vic Centre. Lane number 6, Zach Reed from AQ NTR. Lane 7, Elliot Rogerson from Nuttawading. And in lane 8, we have Thomas Lees from the Sopak Swim Club. And in lane number 9, Jordan Merrilees from NTC Swim Club. So a huge lineup, as you just said there, Tim.
And I'm not going to call it, but I'm going to say keep your eye on Jack McLaughlin.
So it's been a slight delay. The swimmers haven't quite yet hit the blocks.
I think we're doing a presentation. All right, we thought we were doing a presentation, but we're not.
Now, there was a very strong swim from Cameron McAvoy this morning. It'll be very interesting to see what he's capable of doing tonight. One of the finest swimmers Australia's ever produced, Cameron McAvoy.
Just the class and talent of these swimmers tonight.
The Olympic gold medalist, Mac Horton. Zach Reed in lane 6. Big following. Elliot Rogerson from Nunawading, very talented swimmer. Thomas Lee's come down from Sydney from the Sopak Club. And Jordan Merrilees from Northcote in lane 9. But we look to see what the pace is set, how the pace is set by the middle 3 swimmers. Brendan Smith from Nunawading, Jack McLaughlin, Chandler, Mac Horton, Vic Centre. Clean start. Up reasonably quickly the entire field, but at lane 2, Cameron McAvoy, unsurprisingly, was out quickest. As they're settling into their rhythm for the 400 now, and it's lane 5 in Mac Horton, unsurprisingly setting a very nice rhythm here. And
McAvoy turning first.
26.45. Jordan Merrilees 26.75. Jack McLaughlin third, and in fact Mac Horton turns 7th, so he knows what to do, and he's settling himself first up. It's still McAvoy out in front, swimming very comfortably. Jack McLaughlin got his nose in front now, and he's going to turn first into the wall.
I think Merrilees is going to turn first, isn't he? No.
And
Second.
Jordan Merrilees was second, pardon the interruption. And Zach Reed third. But it's now Mac Horton turning the vice just a bit on Jack McLaughlin. And McLaughlin stroking a little bit higher than Mac Horton. And it's still McLaughlin 1. Zach Reed 2. Mac Horton now in third place, and he's really setting himself nicely now. And as I said this morning, McLaughlin's not going to run out of gas as a long distance swimmer here. So this is going to be a hell of a race here. And it's Zach Reed stroking quite beautifully as well. I think it's McLaughlin in the turn first, Horton second, Reed third. They all split 154. Brendan Smith at 155.44 won't be left behind here, but they're turning the pace right up. So Brendan Smith's on their feet, but it's you can throw a blanket over the middle three swimmers in McLaughlin, Horton, Reed. Reed stroking a little bit higher than the other two swimmers, so we'll see what happens with that tactic. McLaughlin's turn first now, 2:23.38. Quite a gripping race, this one.
Absolutely.
It's a bit of cat and mouse happening here.
Yeah, who's saving what? Reed, I think, is just trying to may send a message.
Reed's rating just a little bit higher. But on the turn now, it's still McLaughlin, 2:52.97. Reed's just poked his nose in front, 2:53.21. And Mac Horton's in third place, and he's setting himself now for the final 100. Now this is going to be a really hard sprint to the line here. Horton's lifted his ratings. Reed is going really hard now, 3:22. McLaughlin's still in front, 3:22.2, 22.87. Horton 23.21. And Jack McLaughlin, I tell you what, he's suddenly put quite a bit of space between them. And it looks like it's all his way at this stage. A very impressive swim. And he's got one body length. Reed looks like he probably has Horton covered, but it's McLaughlin all the way, and gee, he powered into the wall there too. That was a great lesson, you young swimmers.
Horton
got it second, 51.54. 9 seconds, 0.9 in front of 09 in front of Reed in third. Brendan Smith fourth. McAvoy fifth, 55.80. Sixth was Elliot Rogerson. Seventh, Wilson Sim. Eighth is Thomas Lees. Ninth, Silas Harrison, 4:08.10. And Jordan Merrilees 10th at 4:13.31.
And as you expect, all swimming well under their times from this morning's swims.
And as you said earlier, it was a little bit of game of cat and mouse there, and when it had to be won, it was McLaughlin who turned on the afterburners. So we've got heat 2
of the B final.
B final. So out of block 0, we have Adrian Rogers. Lane 1, we have Nicholas Roseout. Lane 2, Lev Makarushkin. Lane 3, Lachlan Sheehy. Lane 4, Evan Che. Lane 5, Charlie Thompson. Lane 6, William Petrick. Lane 7, Thomas Halliday. Lane 8, Cale Vence. And in lane number 9, we have Stephen Ashton. So good start by all swimmers. On the first turn, it's Evan Chi, who's currently leading over C. Thompson. And in third, T. Halliday. In fourth, it's Cale Vence. And it's Che with the early advantage here in this B final for the men's 400. So as they come down, it's going to be Chi still leading and trying to just gain that ascendancy and that mental edge over his opponents. Hitting the wall after the first 100, it's Lockie Sheehy who's overtaken Che, and in third position we have Petrick all under 58 seconds here, so they're going at a really good pace.
Evan Shee and Will Petrick, fellow teammates, and very familiar with their own pace. And it's Lachlan Shea from Auburn at 18, who's got 3 or 4 years maturity on the two 15-year-olds, and that might be enough over the distance. But Evan Shee will push him to the line, I can assure you. He's the most talented 15-year-old swimmer in Victoria at the moment amongst the young boys, and he's actually demonstrating that clearly now as they're coming through. Shee is really sticking it to Shea and Thompson on the other side.
So it's Thompson who hits the wall after the 200-metre mark. Shea in second position, followed by Petrick in third. So as you said, Club Nunawading up and about in this race as they steam along on the fifth leg of this 400-metre event. Beautiful conditions here down in Melbourne. The humidity has certainly come down somewhat since the this morning. I tell you what, it was more like Queensland weather earlier today.
And
So
I remember Evan Shee and William Petrick battling it out a month or so ago at age championship, Stephen. I think you and I were on the desk then, and this is no different.
Oh no, it was a very impressive performance by both those young men, and they went.
So it looks like Petrick has really taken it up to Thompson on this sixth leg. So this is the 300-metre leg. So they'll hit the wall and there'll be 100 to go. So they've got to go up and then back. So I was correct there. It's Petrick with the narrow lead over Thompson, and then Shea not far behind, followed by Sheehy.
Petrick's done a very, very impressive race here. He's paced himself very well. He's lifted quite a gear here. He's well better known for his back breaststroke than he is for his freestyle, and Will Petrick's making quite a statement here. He's turning it right on. We might check his PB, but I'm telling you what, this is one of the top swims Petrick's ever put in, and he's put in some good ones. He's really lifted. He's probably negative split this last 200.
So Petrick's top score is 4:08.
He's come in with a 4:08. He's going to bust that comfortably. I'm not sure what his PB is. I'll check that.
So over the line in first position was Petrick with a time of 4:03.87. Second Thompson 4:05.29, and Shee with a time of 4:07.71. So it was those three swimmers from the earlier part of the race who set the early tone, set the ascendancy, and they finished up in the top three. So they will be happy with those times. And Petrick was coming in third on the 200-metre split, but worked hard and came over the top and ended up winning that race.
Well, he's come into this meet with a 4:10, so he's going to be very, very happy with that swim.
So it looks like we're going to a medal ceremony.
Well, what an exciting evening we're having so far, and that was a pretty impressive set of two lots of 400s, and we now move to event number 5, which is the women's 50-metre butterfly. And before they take off, and I'd like to welcome Mr. Anthony Schlick to the microphone. Anthony, welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
Good to see you. Anthony is well known to many swimming parents and swimmers and officials and administrators in Victoria and around Australia, and he's the proud father of 3 magnificent swimmers, 2 dolphins, 1 dolphin to be, but you've only got one of the trifecta here tonight, but he'll cause some damage over this meet, I would expect.
Well, we'll see. He's up for the next event, so that'll be the interesting one. 200 fly, the easy one.
Yeah. Did you get to see the 400 tonight, Anthony?
I did.
Oh, good. We can talk about that a bit later.
Yes, Jack McLaughlin was very impressive.
So set and off and racing. So from lane 0 we have Davison McGovern, lane 1 Simmons, lane 2 St Vincent's, lane 3 Kukla, lane 4 Gasson, lane 5 Costa, lane 6 Pryor, lane 7 Malcolm, and lane 8 Skews, and in lane 9 we have Kim. So they're coming down to the last 25 metres of this race, and it looks like Gasson in lane number 4 really putting on the afterburners with Kim in lane 9. Who's going to hit the wall first?
Gasson
and
first.
It's Gasson. I called it from the sidelines here with a time of 26.92. Costa in second with a time of 27. And in third position,
Yolana Kukla.
Yolana Kukla. They tell you what, they raced that one extremely quickly, and they all end up with a great time there.
Do you remember when Yolana came out on the scene, Anthony?
Yes, she's the first one to go under a minute as a 13-year-old. Set the Australian record, which I think is still standing.
It is indeed unbeatable at that age. And this is the B final now. From the top, Cooper, Hartshorn, Day, McTeague, Mia Holer, Downham, Ilioski, Gabrielle Parniger from the MLC Aquatic Club, Caitlin Hewell and Chantel Underwood from Nunawading. But it's out in front is the swimmer McTeague. Holer's in there in the middle of Surrey Park, and we'll see how it goes. Looking like Holer, McTeague, Downham, but it's none of them. It's
Ilioski.
DVE Aquatic. Alana Ilioski. Caitlin Hewell from Laverton. And Tori McTeague, 28.84 in third. Holer fifth, Amber Downham, Holer fourth, I beg your pardon me, Amber Downham fifth. Abby Hartshorn in sixth, and we now then move to a really tough race here, and we thoroughly enjoyed the heats, and this is going to be even better in the finals tonight. And this is the event number 6. Before we do that, we've got some wonderful medal presentations.
And in first place, and winner of the bronze medal, representing USA, Anastasia Pagonis.
Okay, the big men are coming out now. Jack Carr in lane 0. David Schlicht in lane 1. Theodoros Benahoutsis in lane 2. Vilrich Kurtzi in lane 3. Bowen Goff in lane 4. Coming up on the screen now, just gone past Kurtzi. Looks like he's got a water polo hat on, but it's his headphones. There's Goff. Matthew Temple's going to do some damage in this race. The Australian champion, David. Anthony.
David Morgan.
David Morgan, Australian champion. Lachlan O'Connor. Hamish McDougall in lane 8. And Matthew Vandenberg.
So welcome to the 83, or should I say now 87 live Facebook streamers following us from around the country and the world. Welcome to this magnificent event at the Vic Open Swim Champs.
All right, now let's keep a very close eye on this start. Let's have a very close look at the underwater work here of Goff and Temple. And Schlick not to be denied.
Very good reaction time from Temple, 6-1.
Nice start from David too. He was second out of the second in the break. 64, 65 Curtsey. They're all on. It's the middle three who are showing the strength at this stage. Goff, Benahutsis, Goff, Temple, Morgan. Goff in 1, Temple 2, Curtsey 3, Morgan 4.
They're slightly faster than they were this morning, so you can expect a sub 2 minutes for the winner here.
Seeing a big swim here from Bowen Goff, Anthony.
Yes, he was out very fast this morning, but not as fast as that. And they've shown David Morgan a clean set of heels, and Morgan's back with the pack, in fact.
The team of TSS will be a bit surprised about this because it's Nunawading 1 and Nunawading 2.
Well, I'm not surprised that those two boys are up there, but
Goff and Temple. But Temple's had a wonderful season overseas as well, hasn't he, Anthony?
Yes, he has. He became an Australian record in the World Championships. So
they're coming home now. It's a total ding-dong here.
Oh, yes.
In fact, Temple's coming through, is he not? He's got about an arm's length here. Goff is fighting back. You're seeing it best on your screen here. It's a wonderful sight.
Well, Goff is going. No, I'll pick Goff here.
You got Goff?
Yeah, I've taken Goff.
Temple.
It's nearly a dead heat. It is a dead heat. Unbelievable.
Well, we're in for a good night, Anthony. We both got the chocolates.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Goff and Temple, both from Nunawading Swimming Club.
And Morgan came in third.
Oh, he came in from nowhere.
The alumni out at Nunawading will be cheering for joy tonight. That's a great result for their swimming club. And that was a really exciting race.
Fourth is Vilrich Curtsey, Benahutsis fifth, David Schlick sixth, O'Connor seventh, Vandenberg eighth, McDougall ninth, and Jack Carr 10th. And I think he's rolled out another PB, young David there.
Yes, that is a PB.
That's a very nice sight for a breaststroker, a 2:03, I can tell you.
So coming up, heat number 2, the B final. As the whistle assembles the swimmers to start on their blocks. And off and racing. Over in lane 0 we have Tak Hiao. Lane 1, Elliot Mitchell. Lane number 2, Jaden Carr. Lane 3, Joshua Harris. Lane 4, Cole Young. Lane 5, Jackson Carr. Lane 6, Evan Chi. Lane 7, Hamish Bowden. Lane 8, Will Sharp. And in lane 9, Will Middleton.
This will test young Evan Chi. He's backing up here now with the 200 fly after having had his stablemate Petrick take it to him in the 400. So he loves it. He loves it hard, Evan Chi. He's a very gutsy swimmer, but goodness me, 400 and then 10 minutes later a 200 fly. He'll sleep well tonight, Mum.
Yes, he's. It'll be interesting to see how he goes in the last 50 metres.
Oh, it's agony. But I'll tell you what, it's lane 5 here. Jackson Carr from DVE, who looks like he's going to hit the wall at this juncture with a 1:01. Well, no, it's Elliot Mitchell out there from Rackley at 1 minute and 63. Jackson Carr in second and Carl Young third. But they're still rolling out some pretty respectable times.
And as you mentioned, Chi backing up. Struggling out there at the moment.
Oh, he's not exactly struggling though, but he's just demonstrating what a fine young swimmer he is. But because he's holding his own pretty well.
So as we come to the final turn here,
Kyle Young's taken the lead. 1:33.79. Jackson Carr second, 1:34.18, and Elliot Mitchell third. Josh Harris is fourth, Will Sharp's fifth. And here we go as they are moving into the last 25. Who are you going to call now, Anthony?
Oh, I think I'll have to call the black cap.
Well, they're both black.
Southport.
DVE's coming up nicely too.
Southport.
Yeah, I'm on Southport. Southport it is. 2:07.34. Kyle Young. Jackson Carr second.
Well, there's a number of those times Evan Chee dropped off a little bit in the end, but there was a number of those times that would have placed a bit higher in the A final.
Nice pickup too, Anthony, indeed. So these swimmers have done very well tonight in both the A and the B final. Fourth is Mitchell Elliott, as you can see on the screen. Josh Harris, Evan Chee sixth, Will Middleton seventh, Takio eighth, Hamish Bowden.
And we're going to go to another medal ceremony. So great to see these young athletes being recognised.
Representing Nunawading, Kayla Costa. And in first place, and winner of the gold medal, in a time of 26.92, representing Coast Swimming Club, Helena Gasson. Medals being presented by Romy Hurd, 2020 Victorian female 12-year-old age champion from Melbourne H2O Swimming Club.
So to all the viewers out there, make sure you leave a comment in the Facebook live feed. We'd love to know your thoughts on tonight's swim meet and perhaps some of the athletes that you are cheering for tonight. We've got swimmers from all around the globe representing in these Victorian Swim Championships and also some great Paralympians as well. So make sure you leave a comment, give us a like, give it a share. And the more the merrier. Currently we have 88 live viewers at the moment, Steve. And it's just a great way to see plenty of people.
That's a lucky number for us all.
I was born in 88, so maybe it's a sign. So upcoming in the next event, Event 7, we have the men's 100 metre butterfly multi-class. So varying point system for the disabled athletes, but be interesting to see how they go out here tonight.
Well, just to emphasise that international flavour in lane 0, we've got Kotaro Ogiwara from Japan, and also a number of interstate swimmers as well.
Well, some people from the Sunshine Coast for an international flavour.
Yes.
You can tell us all about that program up there at the USC Spartans for the multi-class swimmers, Anthony, at some stage.
Yes. Right.
So racing in lane 0, we have Kotaro Ogiwara in lane 1, Timothy Hodge, lane 2, Ricky Better, lane 3, Liam Slutter, lane 4, Cole Pearce, lane 5, Jack Ireland, lane 6, William Martin, lane 7, Braden Jason, lane 8, his brother Nathan Jason, and in lane 9, Jesse Onglers. And as we hit the wall for the first time, turning in first position is Pearce with a time of 27.57, just ahead of Slutter in 27.76, and Ireland in third, 27.77. So it's a race of 3 at the moment. Hodge also coming down in lane 1, but Better seems to be taking a slight advantage over Pearce, and it looks like a race of 2. Slutter and Pearce in lane 3 and 4, and it looks like Pearce is kicking in the middle lane, and it's going to come down to the wire. Slutter, Pearce, who hits it first? It's going to be Slutter just over Pearce with a time of 58.87. Pearce second 59.11, and in third we have Ireland with the time of 59.96. So it was a really close, tough contest there, but only 1 second separating the top three swimmers. In fourth position, we had Sluta, 58.87. Ireland in fifth, 59.96, and the rest of the field. So we're going to go to a medal ceremony. Do we now?
Yes.
Yes. All right, well, that concludes the medal ceremony for the men's 200. We want to inform all the viewers that not only have we got viewers around Australia, Heidi Marie Janina Tillman from Austria has said hello to us. So we can say hello back. Some swimmers from Auburn are saying hi. I've got some wonderful superscript from the Middle East. Dolly O'Brien. The New Zealanders are watching in big time. And on we march. Now, the next event on the program is the women's 100 metres breaststroke. And this is going to be a very interesting race, Anthony, between Leiston Pickett and Jess Hansen, would you say?
Yes, but I think we first of all got the women's 100 metres butterfly multi-class. So
I've gone too far. I'm sorry, I was distracted by the overseas visitors.
Yes, well, you've got to keep your eye on the ball, son. But
well, you better read them from the top then.
Yeah, Amy Cook from SLCA, Mia Ichenose from USC Spartans, and 1, 2 Emily Beecroft Terralgan. One of our international swimmers in 4, Elizabeth Smith, USA, Paige Lionheart from Uni Queensland, Taylor Corey and Nia Bays, Ruby Storm, a Terralgan girl as well, so another second Terralgan girl, Kiralee Hayes from Genesis Aquatics, Victoria Jessamine from Risbysby Workers, and Jade Lucy from SLCA.
And off they go, and it's in lane 5. Taylor Corey, I think, is out in front, is she not?
Yes, it's Taylor. Taylor Corey. But Lionheart is making her presence felt.
And Ruby Storm as well has an S14 classification. So to that extent, they're on somewhat level pegging. But it's Paige Leonhardt from the University of Queensland.
Yes.
Who looks like she's out in front there.
Beautiful downtown St Lucia. They would have been happy to be in Melbourne given the weather they've had the last few days.
Absolutely. Taylor Corey is making it known that she's not to be denied in this race, and it's a race between the two of them, and a good race it is as well. Taylor Corey has lifted significantly since her heat race.
But Paige Leonhardt has come away with the chocolates.
And Eliza Smith in third.
Though I would think that Emily Beecroft would probably have won this. Oh no, Eliza Smith.
She's off S9.
Yeah, Eliza Smith.
I'd say so. Well, event number 9 is now upon us. Jasmine Tran, Cassandra Van Breugel. Well, you can see the results there for the previous race in event number 8 for all the followers of that division. Tara Kinder in lane 2, Hodges, Hansen, Pickett, Deacon, Smith, Riddell Smith, and Anthony, you've watched Jess Hansen and Leiston Pickett swim for a long time now. What do you see?
Well, I think you're seeing Jess Hansen now. She's broken away from that pack to a large extent. She's swimming pretty well though. She's PB's a 106 high, so she's not swimming way off her personal best, which and she'd be in hard training, no taper, so yeah, she's very impressive. She's probably the number one breaststroker in Australia at the moment for at least over 100. Jenna Strauch from Southport, or Bond University in fact, is probably the 200 number one. But certainly Jessica is number one in the 100 breast.
And therefore can look forward to a productive Olympic trials in June, and it was certainly a pretty impressive heat swim she swam. She didn't turn the taps off very much in the last 20 metres, as I recall that heat swim this morning. So she's come to play this week. So they're in the starters' hands for this championship race.
Good start by Hansen there. It's 0.69. Anything under 0.7 for a female is very good. Comes up stroking well. I think it'll be a battle between the in the middle lanes. They've already come out a bit. Although Michaela Smith out in lane 8 is showing a good speed as well.
It looks like Hodges who's going to hit the wall first. Hodges it is, Hansen second, Pickett third.
Nothing between them.
But now Jess Hansen's turned it on. That was a nice turn, a nice bit of underwater work there from her.
Yeah, that split stroke is very important in breaststroke.
Exactly.
She's now asserting herself.
This is an impressive swim from Jess Hansen. She's got it all in command. Mindful of the record 105.66 from Liesl Jones. Jess has rolled it out in 107.74. Hodges is second, 108.19, and Leaston Pickett third.
A little bit slower than this morning. She'd be a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, a bit surprising too. We've got the B final now. One from the top, Brooks, Fisher Masters, Misha Vyabowski lane 2, Taya Rodell in 3. Nisha Kickerhorn in lane 4. The MLC school swimmer Anna Lee swims for Nana Wadding in lane 5. Connie Nawadi in lane 6. Phoebe Harris 7. Maika Vrij lane 8 for the young lady from Ballarat, now swimming at Surrey Park. And Chow Huynh from Northcote in lane 9.
So 5 Nunawading representatives in this race. A very even Stevens start to the first 50 metres. So to hit the wall first, we have Lee, time of 34.38. Second, Bausk, 34.79. And Kat Brooks just behind him in third. So they're going to turn for home. And it's Lee who seems to have extended her lead. O'Dowd and Kishkanka coming in third. So Lee's lead has been...
Connie Nawaki's out in front in lane 6. She's got a strong half body length to Anna Lee, and Kika Horn looks like she's going to take third. No, Misha Virbowski, that champion 15-year-old, has taken third. But Connie Nawati is 1:12.39. I'm not sure what her PB is, but that was a pretty solid swim from the 100-metre freestyler.
Well, her event is actually the 200 IM, so she represented Australia in the Rio Olympics in that event. She's had some illness issues, but looks like she's coming back to her best, which is great to see.
Splendid to see.
So as we go to another medal ceremony.
Now, Anthony, we have as we're just looking on the screen at the order of events, event number 10 coming up as a student of the breaststroke men. I'd like to hear your prediction before they even come onto the deck, as between Stubberly, Cook, Cave and Williamson.
I think you can't go past Stubberly Cook. He's in too good a form. I know it's a short event, and his pet event's the 200 breast, but anyone who goes 207 in 200 breast has to be well and truly in front of the field.
I doubt that you'll be proven incorrect there, because it was a smashing heat swim he swam this morning, and he was my call this morning for as to the winner. So nice to see we agree on something.
Yes, although don't discount Sam Williamson. He should be there out early. He'll be there. He's a bit of a renaissance for Sam.
Renaissance indeed.
Couple of years in the wilderness, but now he's straight back into it.
Well, Daniel Cave's getting pretty serious about the show now, and he's very slick. So we've just spoken about the middle three there, but Joshua Gilbert in lane 0, Zahn Collins in lane 1, Mario Königsberger in lane 2 from Holwick Kakarunga, Cameron Jordan, Stubberly Cook, Cave Williamson, Josh Pickett, Pearson Selwood. Now they're just testing the equipment again.
So all these times from this morning, all within about 1 second of each other. So it should be a good Heat 1A final.
Yes, getting off the blocks will be very important. That's where Williamson's got the edge over the field.
So often racing, beautiful start by all the swimmers, and
Daniel
out fastest
Cave
was...
flew off at 59. That was a stunning start from Cave. Sorry to interrupt, Rob.
That's okay. Pickett, Jordan, Collins and Gilbert all up in there. Cohensberger is up there. It's hard to see who's actually leading at this point. There's about 5 swimmers in it right to the end. There's 10 metres to go. Who will hit the wall first?
Stubberly, Cook, Cave and Königsberger by the look of it. Williamson 5th, Cameron Jordan 4th. As predicted, Stubberly Cook did all that was needed.
Stubberly Cook with a time of 28.19. Daniel Cave 28.28. Cohensberger 28.51. And it was very well raced in the Heat A of that final.
Move to the B final. Lane 0, Schlicht. Lane 1, Charlton. Fenderson, Fowler, Joubert, Reed, Jarsinger, Leighton, Petrick and Chang. Patrick's had a bit of a full book for a 15-year-old in open company. David Schlick went off pretty well at 0.64, and he's having a fair income dip here. He's got his head in front too for the 200-metre breaststroke, or 400-metre IM champion. But the sprinters are coming out a bit more now in lanes 6, 7 and 8. And this one's very hard to call, but it looks like it's going to be lane 7 who's going to go in first.
So in first, Fowler.
No, Fowler.
With a time of 29.75. In second,
Calvin Reid from lane 5.
And third, Julian Layton, 29.82. It's a real rash and dash, these 50-metre finals.
Now move to event number 11. It's the women's 400 metres individual medley.
Now it seems as though there's 2 events, there's 2 heats of this, so I suspect that there's been a bit of a misunderstanding in marshalling.
I don't know what's happening, because they left the final heat, the 5th heat, for swimming tonight.
So we'll go across to the medal presentations. So heat 4 or 5. So we've got Bianca Walton in lane 3, Abby Harrington in lane 4, and Lucy Webster. And often racing.
They're all very solid 15-year-old age swimmers. Any age swimmer that swims around 5 minutes for a 400 IM as a young lady is a very good swimmer, and all those 3 are showing that now.
So early on in the race, it's Harrington with a narrow lead over Webster, with Walton, who performed really well in the pool earlier this morning, just narrowly behind in third. So it'll be interesting to see the split times between these 3 women swimmers. So it's Harrington who hits the wall first, 30.69, followed by Webster, 31.35, and narrowly behind is Walton, 31.90. So as we come to the second leg of this 400-metre breast, it's Harrington who's narrowly extended her lead, and they're going to hit the wall for the second time, coming up in about 15 metres. And 2 Nuttawading girls. So there's a lot of Nuttawading swimmers. They must be very proud alumni out there at Nuttawading at the moment. So it is Harrington extending her lead by a couple of seconds there. So 105.85, Webster 107.52, and Walton 108.29.
Well, that's a lovely swim so far from Abby Harrington and Lucy Webster. Nuttawading's a very big club, of course. It's got a massive Learn to Swim program that assists in its operations. It swims from, I think, 5 sites. It's got the largest number of swimmers in its program, and it's unsurprising, therefore, that you would see a high degree of representation by that club from what is ranked as the /1 club in terms of competition results in Victoria, but followed by the MLC Aquatic Club that has about 1/7 or 1/8 of the numbers, and still finishes second. So it's all about applying your skills in the pool and skills in administration, and Nuttawading do a very good job of both.
Am I right in saying MLC's Methodist Ladies College?
Methodist Ladies College.
Okay. In Hawthorn, is that the one?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
And a girls' school, but a very powerful swim club attached to it, which has some of the finest young men as well as some of the finest young girls going around. Very hard to get a gig at MLC Aquatic. You've got to be a young man or young lady who has a thirst and appetite for the sport, and toes the line and understands what good club culture is, and continues it. Wouldn't that be right, Anthony?
Yes, that's what it's designed to bring in, and they've been very successful in it.
So in this breaststroke leg, it's Webster, who's really put the pressure on Harrington. They turn for home. Harrington with a narrow lead, 3:08.63. Webster just behind, 3:09.54. And Walton's lost a little bit of ground by 3 seconds, 3:11.72. So it's Harrington and Webster fighting it out.
Well, this is a terrific go from Lucy Webster. She's plainly a very good breaststroker, and she's taken it right up to Harrington now. And as we often see in the 400 IM, it plays into the hands of the very solid breaststroker, and Lucy Webster is no exception to that strategy.
Yes, it's the one that it's the money stroke. Not only is it the slowest stroke, and therefore you can gain the greatest distance, but when you go to freestyle, your lead exponentially comes out. See, Lucy Webster now is a body length where she went in on a turn at a half a body length.
So it's Webster in control of this race in the last freestyle leg, followed by Harrington, both Nuttawading Swim Club females. And Walton is probably 2 body lengths behind Harrington. So we're going to come to the final 50-metre hurdle. They turn for home, and it's neck to neck. Webster turns with a time of 4 minutes 27.15, and narrowly behind is Harrington, 4 minutes 28.25. So it's going to have to be a really strong swim from Harrington to catch Webster. But Webster halfway down the final 50 looks to be in control. Harrington trying her heart out, but it's all Webster coming down to the final 20 metres. All Webster. Harrington can't be ashamed of this run, but it's going to be Webster who's going to hit the wall first with a time of 5 minutes even. Harrington 5:01.78, and Walton hits the wall a few seconds behind with a time of 5:07.71. But certainly great respect and great admiration for one another between those two Nuttawading swimmers.
It's a great effort from both those girls. And if you ever wanted to understand how it is a top to bottom all-inclusive sport in the sport of swimming, and the swimmers appreciate very much the contribution that are made by the generation by age above them, you'll turn your eye, if you're in the stadium, to lane number 9, and you'll see John Bertrand, the chairman of Swimming Australia, doing timekeeping. Wonderful to see. The father of the reigning Olympic 400 metre gold medalist Andrew Horton also doing some timekeeping. So it's the first amongst equals amongst us all here tonight. And don't know whether we'd see that sort of thing in America, but we're certainly seeing it here in Australia.
Well, the coming up to the 400 IM A final is Helena Gasson, who won the 50 fly, is now doing the 400 IM, which is showing great versatility.
Well, I'm very interested to see what Barbara Zavadova from the Czech Republic via Kawana has up her sleeve here. She dropped a very big PB this morning, earlier this morning in some particular race, I can't recall, and she's here to play as well with Sophie Caldwell next to her.
Yes, well, Barbara Zavadova at Kawana Waters. Kawana Waters, of course, head coach is Michael Sage, who was himself a 400 IM national age champion and also an Australian Dolphin in the 400 IM. So,
and a former head coach at Surrey Park as well.
Yes.
Been everywhere.
So plenty of viewers online tonight. 87 currently watching this live feed on the Facebook Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hi from Auckland from Jeff Seabun as we go to this women's 400 individual medley. So it's no one in lane 0 tonight. just keep your eyes on between lane 1 and lane 8. So from lane 1 we have Zoe Deacon, lane 2 Tara Kinder, lane 3 Helena Gasson, lane 4 Barbara Zavadova, lane 5 Sophie Caldwell, lane 6 Jacinta Assam, lane 7 Michaela Smith, and in lane 8 we have Victoria Bushell.
Victoria Bushell's quite a talented 15-year-old IM swimmer herself. Now she's gone comfortably under 5 minutes on a number of occasions. So there's quite an age discrepancy here. So there'll be a discrepancy in power, strength and maturity here, which will probably show up over the course of this race. But it's Bushell, as I said to you, who's got some claim on being a swimmer of ability in this race, and she's taking it right up to the more favoured swimmers in the middle, including Gasson and Zavadova. And as they look to finish the first leg of this event, it's Gasson out first, Zavadova second, 103.92, and 104.62 from Bushell, Sophie Caldwell and Jacinta Essam fifth.
Interestingly, Barbara Zavadova, she hails from Ostrava, and she has just recently got a new coach, and she holds the records for the Czech Republic in the 200 and 400 metre individual medleys. In 2019, she competed at the World Championships as well, so a world-class swimmer is Zavadova.
And she's showing a clean pair of heels at the moment. She's broken away on the backstroke from Gasson, and Sophie Caldwell also. Watch out for her. She's a very good breaststroker. And that's the money leg.
So Zavadova.
I'm very impressed by Zavadova's backstroke here. I can assure you that is a beautiful technique there. The head is dead still. She'll pass the plastic cup test that they run up in Queensland on the forward. And I'm sure she's a good exponent of that too, but she looks like she's got it substantially under control if she can breaststroke well enough. Gasson in second, Caldwell third, and Anthony's called Caldwell to make some inroads here by implication, and that's what she's doing already.
You mentioned the maturity factor of Zavadova. As just mentioned, 10 years between the top and bottom age swimmers, and it looks like Zavadova is extending her lead ever so slightly here in this breaststroke leg. That's a beautiful breaststroke. As you mentioned before, straight body, and just the way her head is popping out of the water, she seems extremely confident at this stage of the race. So they're going to turn, and it's going to be Zavadova in the lead in the time of 2 minutes 56. Second, Gasson, 2 minutes 58, and Caldwell just behind, 2 minutes 59, and fourth, Assam, 303.33. So Zavadova in complete control here as the time lapses 3 minutes 20. So they're going to come down to their final leg here. And Zavadova, 15 minutes to go with the breast. It's really Gasson and Zavadova. So looks like Gasson's probably maybe just slightly accrued on that lead a little bit. So Zavadova turns for home in the freestyle leg. Zavadova 338, Gasson 340, and Caldwell 341. So none of those have changed lead at the current moment. So are we calling it from here, boys? Zavadova looks too strong.
Comfortably.
So
I'm interested in what time she's going to finish at here. She's got an entry time of 4:43, and she's turned the 4:11. So Anthony, number please.
43.
So Zavadova really putting on the afterburners here as we're down to the final 50 metres of this race. Beautiful freestyle. It's been Zavadova, Gasson.
That is a beautiful stroke.
And
a very talented swimmer.
Caldwell through the whole race. So Zavadova from the Czech Republic. She's doing home proud, and she's going to come in, and let's see her time. She hits the wall at 4 minutes 44.43. Gasson in second place, 4:46.76. Caldwell 4:48.29. Jackie Assam with 4:49.50, and in fifth, Kinder 4:55.70 in sixth, 5 minutes 74 Bushel, and in seventh, Smith 5:05.58, and rounding them off in eighth position in lane number 1, Deacon with a time of 5 minutes 11 seconds .64. Really enjoyed watching that.
That was a great race, actually. It was also, you know, quite an interesting show on the gulf between mature adults, open company, and highly talented 15 and 16-year-olds. And we saw Vic Bushel go out there very impressively, but it was the harder trained, harder raced, longer raced adults that did what was expected of them. Well, we're coming up now to one of the premier events of the night, and it's the women's 100 metres freestyle. And we've got some nice swimmers here in this race, I can assure you of that. Kayla Costa in lane 0. Chantel Underwood in lane 1.
And Cotty Nagawati's in lane 5, having just finished the 50 breaststroke, now for 100 free. You can tell that she's a IMer.
So we've got over 106 live.
We're tuning in for the Blue Riband event.
I'm interested to see how Kukla goes in this race.
Be very good for the first 50, but whether she can hang on.
So he's higher stroke rate. Out in lane 3 is
I think in
Karina Doyle.
Lane 2 and lane
Lise
3,
Woods.
there's nothing in between it. Fairweather.
Fairweather 1. Julia Hawkins 2. Woods 3. Yolana Kukla 4, and coming in with 25 metres to go, it looks like it's Elise Woods still out in front. She's got a bit of opposition next door in Doyle. Fairweather is coming through comfortably now. She's going strongly, but so is Kukla still.
Yes. Oh,
very interesting. Fairweather 1, Kukla 2, 56.32. Nawati 3rd. This is a solid meet for Cotty. She'd be quite happy with this.
So we're going to head to heat number 2, the B final. So in lane 0 we have Caitlin Hull. Lane 1, Lily Hall. Lane 2, Imogen Thackeray. Lane 3, Gabriella Piniga. Lane 4, Emma Malcolm. Lane 5, Lashavel Stickland. Lane 6, Mia Slevin. Lane 7, Abby Hartshawn. Lane 8, Mackenzie House. And in lane number 9, Corrie McMaster. So great start by all the girls. And at the early stage, it looks like over in lane number 7, Hartshawn might hit the wall first. We'll find that one out. So
Stickland's coming first. Emma Malcolm 2nd. Abby Hartshawn 3rd. Lushavel Stickland is from Samoa, isn't it, Anthony?
Yeah, she's
she goes
swims
all
for
right.
Samoa.
Swims for Samoa when the flags are up, and the flags look like they'll come up pretty comfortably here too. Emma Malcolm's having a real big dip here.
I'll pick Emma Malcolm.
So Strickland and Malcolm hit the wall.
Bingo. She'll be as happy as Larry with that. Congratulations, Emma. 58.13. Abby Hartsthorne in 2nd. Mia Slevin 3rd.
She'll be wearing her funky trunks as well.
Oh, yes, and her coach as well, Phil, he'll be feeling fairly funky about that win for Emma as well. Big shout out to Phil. It's the first shout out I've done for a long time. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope the family's well.
So we're going to be moving to the men's 100 metre freestyle. Heat 1 A final. And we've got a bit of an international flavour in this. So we've got Welsom Sim from Malaysia in lane number 9. One to watch. And in the earlier times today, the field was covered from times between 50.25 all the way down to 51.46. So it's going to be a very competitive 100-metre freestyle final here.
Well, indeed it will be, and it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen between Yang Gerard, Dr. Gerard and Cameron McAvoy.
Cameron McAvoy, an absolute star in the pool.
William Yang is my call. But,
I'll stick with the Cameron McAvoy, the professor, over the doctor.
Well,
don't excuse Jacob Whittle. He can definitely run a race, so to speak. So
Benno Negri, speaking of doctors, is in lane 8, and Wilson Sim is in lane 9. But Anthony McAvoy's had the 400.
Yeah,
Yang hasn't swum yet tonight.
It's a warm-up for the lad.
So on the marks. So from top to bottom of the screen, Luka Zubic, Matthew Temple, Luke Gebby, Jacob Whittle, William Yang, Jake Gerard, Cameron McAvoy, Matthew Stanley, Benno Negri and Welsom Sim. So a good, clean, fast start. And out in lane number 5, it looks like it's going to be Yang who will hit the wall first.
Yang and McAvoy, 1-2. 24.01 McAvoy, 23.87 Yang, and it's on and it's a ding-dong. And between the two of them's coming back is Jack Gerard as well. Professor, Doctor, Sprinter, short course champion, William Yang. McAvoy's got him. He's going to turn it right on here. Watch how hard he comes to the wall. Professor comes first. Yang second. Doctor third. Jacob Whittle fourth. Luke Gebby fifth. Matthew Temple and 49.65, 49.72. And Anthony, is it 47.3 or 47.2 would be McAvoy's PB?
That's about right.
It's marvellous conditions here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. Really nice backdrop. We're in a world-class facility here. So we're in heat number 2, B final. So from the top to bottom of your screen, Mac Horton, Jack Taylor, Jack Carr, Nathan Foote, Daniel Hunter, Win Het O, Tyrone Henry, Cameron Bladen, Marco Sasanto and Alex Kirchner. And it's a really good start, but it looks like in lane number 4, Foote with a great early start, and Hunter will probably go 1-2 as they hit the wall. So it's Hunter, turns first, and Foote second, and Henry third, only about half a second separating the top 3. So Foote putting on the afterburners, 25 metres to go. Carr narrowly behind, but it's all Foote, and it looks like he's going to take out this race.
Win.
So Foote, 10 metres to go, and he's going to hit the wall in first position. Hunter coming second was Henry, third, and that was a time of 51.86. So
Harwick Pakarunga,
all the way from New Zealand,
and his teammate Tyrone Henry. I really liked Tyrone Henry's swim there. I reckon he'll be very happy. I don't know what he's come over with, but that was a mighty good swim from Tyrone. He's only 18. Daniel Hunter's got 7 years on him.
So as we go to the medal ceremony, it's exciting racing. I'm really enjoying this experience. Just to see the varying age differences and just the varying levels. It just goes to show no matter how young or old you are, if you get in the pool and you have that mental edge, anyone can win these really important Vic Swim Championship races. And all these meets are so important for, especially in an Olympic year, heading towards Tokyo in middle of the year. It's really important. Every little swim in their preparation is so important.
It gives the swimmer and the coach a sense of how they're tracking along. Practice various types of strategies for the particular event that they're focusing on in this meet. It's not necessarily about the time, it's always about the process, and this is certainly one of the ways in which that process can be satisfactorily tested. Now I'm looking forward to this 200 metres backstroke, because we've got a very strong representation from a number of swimmers who have displayed great courage over a number of years.
Just really enjoying this. The facilities are so elite here. We're blessed to have these facilities just down the road from all of us, and just the general sporting precinct around Albert Park area.
Oh, it's a great facility, and the more 50-metre water we can have in Melbourne, the more fun everyone can have.
So with your great knowledge, gentlemen, of these girls, who do you like early on?
Hayley Baker.
Hayley Baker.
Ash Wheel, it'll be very interesting to see. I think she just about PB'd this morning, but I'm not sure how much she's got left in the tank, but we'll soon know. But it's going to be Hayley Baker of my call, and Olivia Lafoe's going to give it a ripping big hard go in that first 100 as well, and see how far she can hang on.
So Heat 1, A final of the women's 200 backstroke. So they're getting ready and getting steady and off and racing. So from your top of your screen down to your bottom, in lane 0 we have Layla Day, lane 1 Mia Holler, lane 2 we have Sophie Caldwell, lane 3 Ashley Wheel, lane 4 Hayley Baker, lane 5 Emma Goodwin, lane 6 Olivia Lafoe, lane 7 Maggie Skews, lane 8 Gina Halloway, and in lane number 9 Madison Cooper.
Be very interesting to see how Sophie Caldwell goes, seeing she's just done a 400 IM about 10 minutes ago. I think she might get the Evan Chi disease and fall off the back of the truck.
So as they turn for the first time, it's Goodwin, Baker and Galloway who make up the top 3 backstrokers. And I'll tell you what, Goodwin out in front, that's a lovely stroke. And they're going at a reasonably good time too.
The Heretaunga Sun Devils is her club, and she's doing it in very nice style. She turns in 104.35, which is quite a nice split. 104.97 Hayley Baker, Ash Wheel third at 106.25. Gina Galloway fourth, and Olivia Lafoe's turned at 106.85 in 5th position. And it's still the swimmer, the 22-year-old from Heretaunga Sun Devils, who's showing everyone how it's done at this stage.
Is that North or South Island?
I don't know.
Not sure.
It'll be North Island, seeing it's the Sun Devils. No sun in the south.
So Goodwin turns for home.
Whether it's north or south, she's in front, and she's got a second lead from Hayley Baker, which is no mean feat, and Gina Galloway in 3rd position. But it's, oh, look at this. Look at this. I've called it too early. Look at Hayley Baker. She has shown everybody her well-known skill, and you don't see this very often in a 200 back. Love to get the splits on this one. She is going to take it home and take it home comfortably. Liv Lafoe's having a massive crack for 3rd, but it's Hayley Baker, 2:12.67. Emma Godwin in 2nd. Ash Wheel in 3rd. Gina Galloway 4th.
Absolutely rocketed home, Baker, in that final 50.
Coach's direction.
Maybe she was playing mind games with the other athletes.
Don't know about mind games. You're upside down. It's hard to think straight in the backstroke.
Especially you can't see them either.
Yeah. But Hayley Baker has presumably swum to a rather interesting plan there. I'm looking forward to seeing the splits, but that was a pretty good performance by Hayley. she should be happy. 2:12.67. I'm not sure what her entry time was.
And from the Canberra Amateur Swimming Club, fair bit of support for Hayley Baker. So
Good
welcome to the live feed on Facebook Live. And also we've got Susie Studdle, who says, "Go Emma." So
Hayley was a native of Melbourne, started swimming for the Collingwood Swim Club. In fact, then went to Vic Centre, then up to Canberra for the AIS.
So heat 2 of this B final.
Did Eddie take over the Collingwood Swim Club?
He's taken over just about every other club in the land. So from top to bottom, starting in lane number 1, we have Ciara Walsh, lane 0, Ciara Walsh, lane 1, Brooke Asbury, lane 2, Liala Ewan Bogart, lane 3, Sophie Irving, lane 4, Sarah Cooper, lane 5, Mia Burns Walsh, lane 6, Charlize Booner, lane 7, Amelia Silla Euro, lane 8, Caitlin Green, and in lane number 9, Isabella Simons. And hitting the wall from the first 50 is Owen Tenbuga.
Layla Uten-Bogart. So it's one of the hardest names in swimming to pronounce.
Thank you so much for helping me.
Keeps me up all night trying to get that one off the tongue. And it's Layla who's showing everyone how it's done from way down there in Cheltenham. Pound for pound, it gets some great results at age swimming championships. So it's Layla Uten-Bogart with the swimmer in lane 8, Caitlin Green, looking like from Howard Pakarunga, looking like coming through in second. No, it's Mia Burns Walsh second and Caitlin Green third. Charlize Booner fourth. Amelia Chilauro from in lane 7 is fifth. And it looks like Mia Burns Walsh is starting to drop the hammer a bit here. I'm not prepared to unload yet on the Cheltenham swimmer Uten-Bogart, but she's still doing well.
Oh, I'd
looks like she's pulled away here.
Yeah, be very surprised.
So Uten-Bogart turns for home in the lead, 1:45.82. Burns Walsh, 1:48.26, and Booner, 1:48.37. So it's Uten-Bogart who seems to have extended her lead halfway down the final lap here. And it looks like Burns Walsh is in clear second. But don't write off Booner as they come, and they're really racing for second and third. And it's Uten-Bogart who will be finishing this race in a pretty handy time. She's going to be over 2 minutes 20. She hits the wall in 2 minutes 22.41. Silla Euro came second with a time of 2:24.55, and it was Irving who stormed home with a time of 2:25 also. So really good last legs for those two girls who finished second and third.
Amelia Chilauro at 2:24.55 from EC Waves. She's had a very nice swim there, coming in second behind the Cheltenham swimmer Uten-Bogart. Sophie Irving third. We've now moved to the medal ceremony, which you can see, and it's the Dolphin Kotinawati. I don't think that's Vic Centre. The Vic Centre top, is it, Anthony?
No, unless they've gone multi-coloured.
It might be Ken Doan.
Yeah, I think so. More Ken Doan than Vic Centre.
Ken Doan, brought to you by Vic Centre.
Could be.
Fair bit of support there.
Now we've got the big boys in the big sprint.
So event number 15 coming up on our program, ladies and gentlemen. The record holder for this event is Mr. Ash Delaney, 24.81, just 10 years ago, who is now the head coach at Is it Northcote?
I think it's something like that. It's actually 11 years ago, but don't worry about that.
Oh yes, we're in 2020.
Got a great outdoor facility at the Northcote Swim Club. I swim there regularly, and it's a great facility.
YMCA have the operating rights there, and it's a very successful club.
Older facility, but they've got the Olympic-sized swimming pool out the back there.
The breath of life, the 50-metre water.
Definitely.
It's 10 lanes as well.
It is.
So he can pack them in there, Ash, and that's one of the reasons why he's able to put together the third-ranked club in Victoria, behind MLC Aquatic and Nunawading.
And Northcote's always been a strong contingent of a club.
Not always, but certainly of recent years, since Ash took a troop away from Ivanhoe and another troop away from some other parts of Melbourne, and become a very powerful club very quickly in the last few years. Now anyway, let's get down to heat number 1. It's the A final, and it's Churches, Del Rice, Hollard, Ashby, Jeffcott, Cornwall, Foot, Carr and Mary Lees. And Bradley Ashby looks like he's going to get the chocolates, in my opinion, tonight. Anthony?
Oh, I think there's going to be, it'll all depend on the underwaters on the first 15 metres who can nail it. I wouldn't be...
Yeronga Park on one side, North Shore on the other. Southport Olympic in the got to go down to lane 7 for Northcote. Off they go. What's happening now? It looks to me like there's nothing between lane 4, 5 and 6. And the Yeronga Park swimmer is having a ripping dip at it as well. It's almost impossible to pick him from pool deck. It's lane 4 and lane 5, and it's lane 5 who's going to get it. Andrew Jeffcoat. Harwick Pakarunga, 25.83. Tristan Hollard, Bradley Ashby in third, 25.98. Congratulations to all those three men.
Nunawading has been right up there all day, haven't they?
Well, we've talked about Nunawading. It's what they'd expect. They're looking for a new head coach after the Olympic Games, and they'll have a Melbourne Cup field to choose from, because there's plenty of facilities, plenty of swimmers, and plenty of opportunity.
So heat number 2, B final. So your swimmers from top of your screen down to the bottom. So in lane 0, Tyson Caddy as they get ready to go. Lane 1, Yanning Zhang. Lane 2, Thomas Perry Greener. Lane 4, Robert Friend. Lane 5, Alex Kirchner. Lane 6, Nicholas Findenson. Lane 7, Sebastian Christie Crane. Lane 8, Benno Negri. Lane 8, Will Sharp. And in lane number 9, Ryan Alexander Lobo. So first 20 is quick, and it looks like lanes 4 and 5, Kirchner and Finderson have got off to a good start, but over in lane number 7, Negri looks like he's got the lead. And with 20 minutes to go, it looks like Negri and Sharp over in lane 8. Coming down to the wide, Negri, Sharp, they hit the line, but it's Kirchner, followed by Negri and Sharp. Kirchner with a time, as I just get the official one coming up on the screen.
26.94.
Negri in second, 27.19, and Sharp, 27.33, and in fourth, Christy Crane, 27.49, fifth, Finson, also with 27 seconds. Just looked, while we're commentating there, just on our side, looked like that lane 7 and 8 were really hammering home.
Well, some considerable talent there in lane 7. You know, Negri's a well-known, well-credentialed age swimmer who's making all the right steps through into open company. Medal presentation. some of these swimmers, of course, unfortunately can't get back to the presentation because they're either cooling down for the next race or they're in marshalling for the next race. So it's not quite like the bright lights of World Championships or Olympic Games where it all runs to the last second. But that's one of the quaint niceties of a meet like this. It's all for the swimmer and what is best for the swimmer, and long may it stay. Now we are moving to the multi-class section of the program. It will be the men's 50-metre breaststroke. This is event number 16, which will then be followed by event number 17, the women's 50-metre multi-class breaststroke, as we have a very nice picture of what you see on the far side of the pool. And team members were gathering there to cheer on their fellow swimmers. Coaches look from there.
Team Auburn, is that a New South Wales based team?
Which one, sorry?
Team Auburn in the
yes.
red and white.
Yes.
Okay. So any names in this final A that trigger some memory, one to watch?
I think Jake Michel from the Carina Leagues Club showed considerable strength in the way he swam this morning, but it's really unfair to compare one swimmer to another when the different classifications are there to even it up, and it takes a lot of grit, guts and determination to do what these men are doing, as you can see quite clearly on your screen. Ahmed Kelly, of course, in lane 8 has got a well-known profile in this category of the sport, and he's in lane 8 there.
So often racing from top to bottom of your screen, it is Grant Patterson in lane 0, followed by Young Ute Tabtong for lane 1, Matthew Stark lane 2, Dylan Logan lane 3, Jake Mikal in lane 4, lane 5 Oscar Stubbs, lane 6 Lachlan Hanratty, lane 7 Liam England, lane 8 we have Ahmed Kelly, and in lane 9 Chakorn Kaswi. So they come down, and hitting the blocks first is Mikal with a time of 30.99. Second, Stubbs 33.49, and Logan with a time of 34.77. Hanratty 35.14 in fifth. Stark 35.50. England in with a time of 37.80. Tabtong with a time of 45.87. Kelly in 8th, 54.63. And to round them off, in lane number 9, it was Kashri from Thailand, 46-year-old.
But it's Ahmed Kelly with 657 points with a significant courage who indeed won that race.
No, I think you find Jake Michel won it.
I missed Jake Michel's number. What was that, Anthony?
801.
Thank you. Well, he was my tip at the start of the race.
Good tip.
He got off him pretty quickly.
Now, we move to the ladies. Event number 17, the women 50 metres breaststroke.
I think you'll find there'll be a medal presentation first.
So welcome to Cindy Hickmott and Irene Lynch. Welcome to the live feed here on Facebook. We appreciate you watching So far, many have tuned in throughout the day, over 15,000 viewers as we go to the medal ceremony. And that little kid's hairstyle's fantastic.
Impressive mullet.
Got a 80s style mullet there. They must be back in fashion.
Yeah, apparently they are. My son's trying to grow one.
And as you can see, the magnificent pictures here from the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. It's a great world-class venue we have here, and all the spectators up in the stand, I'm sure, are enjoying what they've been watching tonight.
It is a lovely view, that actually, that the cameraman's taking there. Stadium that can hold, I don't know really, was it 4,000 people? Maybe more?
Yeah, I think the capacity is around 3,500. So
3.5. So
it's a fairly good number for a swim meet. And obviously the 2006 Olympics was held here. Commonwealth Games, should I say. You have to go all the way back to 1956 to find an Olympics.
Well, we've got the roll call now for the women's 50-metre breaststroke multi-class. As you can see on your screen, Ashley Van Ryswyk, Sophie Pascoe there, she's an SB8 class. SB9 class, Kira Stevens. Same class again, SB9 for Zoe. SB7. SB6. SB6. So on a straight time swim here, we'd expect to see Sophie Pascoe and Kira Stevens duke this out. But that won't be the point result. And
So
Sophie Pascoe it is.
You called it well there, Steve. Pascoe from New Zealand, out and about early, but also in lane number 5, Stevens is certainly challenging early in this race. And Van in lane 4 is right up there in the early part. So they touch the wall, and it's going to be Pascoe with a time of 36.05. Van 36.66. Stevens 37.09 in 4th. Mackenzie 39.15. Thomas 43.13 in 6th. Howarth with a time of...
And it's Sophie Pascoe who's won that event at 727 points. Just shaded Kane Thomas. Sophie Herzog in 3rd with 640 points. And we now move to the 800 metres freestyle.
And with that, gentlemen, I'll bid you farewell. I've got to pick up the wife from the airport.
Best wishes to you both. Safe trip to the Tullamarine. Safe trip home. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
Thanks for your company, Anthony.
Good to have you on. Lovely to meet you, mate. So just don't get held up in that traffic at Tullamarine. We're lucky it's a bit later tonight, so it shouldn't be too bad at the moment. I think we're due to build a bigger airport, Steve. Our airport's probably not big enough for our population growth.
Well, I don't want to be too controversial about this topic. We really don't need to introduce politics into this.
We'll keep it clear of that then.
Well, I think that visitors to our nation and Australians can make their own choices about what they think of the Tullamarine Airport, and it was great in its day.
So we go to the medal ceremony, and that's a great photo there. Smiles from all the athletes, and that's what it's all about. Well, when I say that, it's really about being the best swimmer you can be.
No doubt. And what we're having now, another medal presentation here for the men. In the
So 75 live viewers at the moment. Welcome to Renee Lowe and Karen Mikkel. Great win, Jake. A couple of live Facebook. Vanessa Burns, congrats Andrew Jeffcoat. Hashtag PSC proud. So Madison Cooper and the women's 800 freestyle. Tara Kinder. Chelsea Kubeka.
Come down from Queensland. Karina Doyle in lane 3 from the North Shore Swimming Club. Moesha Johnson from TSS Aquatic. From the Ginninderra Club in Canberra. From the Neptune Swim Club. Now, Moesha Johnson's a very fine middle distance and long distance swimmer here. She comes into this event with a personal best of 8:36.84, which is just over 2 seconds slower, than the Victorian All-Comers and Open record, and off they go. So this will be very interesting to see. Just keep in the back of your mind the 8:34.16 as the record taken in 2:05, and we'll see how Moesha's travelling. There's a very talented, capable club up there at TSS Aquatic, and they've sent a few good swimmers down. And so from the top, Madison Cooper, Tara Kinder, Chelsea Gubecka, Karina Doyle, Moesha Johnson, Jacinta Essam, Caitlin Deans, Jacqueline Dawson McGovern, Laura Brosnan and Jardine Ralph. And Doyle first, Ralph second, and Chelsea Gubecka third. Chelsea Gubecka is an outstanding open water swimmer too, and as is a number of members of her family. And she put in a cracking heat this morning. I can't recall exactly what it was, but this is a very beautiful stroke that Chelsea Gubecka's got. And Moesha Johnson is going to have it all before her.
Yeah, Gubecka,
even though it's pretty early days, 100 down with 700 to go.
Gubecka 8:55.39 this morning.
I'm sorry, it's Karina Doyle who I had more particularly in mind, from North Shore Swimming Club. She's out in front, and Johnson is turning the heat on her now. She's not going to have it all her own way, and I reckon by the 200 metre mark Johnson may have got her. We'll see what happens.
So Doyle turns in first, 1:35. Johnson narrowly behind. In third, Assam, and in fourth, Gubecka.
Now it's all about tempo, it's all about rhythm, it's all about swimming to a particular strategy and consistency. Get into the control of your stroke, count the strokes. There we go. nothing between them now. There's only less than a tenth of a second between the two of them. Moesha Johnson's really turning it on now, and out there in lane 6 as well, Caitlin Deans from Neptune as well, and Dawson McGovern. But Moesha Johnson now has got her nose in front. But the swimmer in Caitlin Deans in lane 6 is moving up through the field at 2:41.75. But Johnson first, Doyle second, Deans third, Jacinta Essam in fourth. And it's a big go now from Caitlin Deans. She's coming right up on Johnson here. And it's stroke for stroke. Now, slightly longer reach that Johnson's got than Deans, which may hold her in good stead in the last 200. She's a very accomplished swimmer, this Moesha Johnson, 3:13.61, Deans 3:14.35. Looks like she could go all night, doesn't she? Although she's got a consistent breathing pattern. She's breathing a whole lot more frequently than Deans, and Deans is actually breathing to both sides. Left, 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 left. Then right, just before the wall.
So Johnson hits the wall in first position, 3:46.23. Deans 3:47.62, narrowly behind. Doyle 3:48.21, and it looks like the rest of the field struggling to stay in touch for these top three girls at the current moment.
Moesha Johnson gives it a very strong pull through the water. Look at that pull. Look at that right arm there, and then big pull. Slightly faster pull through the water than Deans.
Really
doesn't necessarily mean she's pulling more water, but it's a quicker stroke, but it's an efficient one too.
Looks like Deans is making up a little bit of ground here over the last, say, 100 metres of this race. But the swimmer out in front certainly looking the goods at the moment. So Johnson hits the wall 4:51.28. Deans chasing her down 4:53.99. Essam in third, 4:55.73. Doyle and Gabuka not far behind in fourth and fifth, respectively. So it's all Johnson at the moment. She's setting the ascendancy and the tone of this race. I thought Deans was challenging a little bit on that last lap, but looks like Johnson's really started to pull away here. So Johnson 5:23.79 off the wall, and she has, just in that last 50 metres, extended her lead by approximately a second and a half. Deans 5:27.20, Essam 5:28.84. So it's real go for second and third here, but at the moment Johnson in complete control of this race. So I'm really keeping an eye on the Victorian overall record, which is a time of 8:34.16, and Johnson's splits have been impressive. So she turns for the wall at 5:56.51, out by 5 seconds now over Deans. She's extended her lead even more, 6:01.01, and in third it's 6:01.92. So Deans and Essam really battling it out for second and third, so that's one to watch. But she looks like she's really stroking well through the water, breathing proficiently as she turns. Does Johnson 6:29.26. So 200 metres to go in this 800 metre race. And it's a real dogfight for Deans and Essam in lane 5 and 6 respectively. So that is the battle that everyone should be watching. The rest of the field's spread out a fair distance between each swimmer. But I'm getting excited for Johnson as she turns 150 metres out. So 7:02.11, with a Victorian record at 8:34.16. So she's a total of around 9 seconds in front now over Assam and Deans. In fourth, Davidson. Fifth, Doyle. And in sixth, we have Cooper over in lane 0.
I think that record might be outside her reach. She might be there or thereabouts on her PB. She turns in 7:34. One never knows here. She's lifting and lifting big time. She's having a real crack. She hasn't brought the big kick in yet. She's doing a lot of it with her arms. The big kick hasn't come in yet.
She'll be thereabouts.
Yeah, a little bit of a kick there.
It's impressive. It's been an impressive swim. She's just pulled away from Assam and Deans.
So she dig into the wall now. One big underwater left. 8:07.51. So this is a pretty good swim here.
Assam in second, 8:13.46, with a narrow lead by 1.5 seconds over Deans in third. Quebecer in fourth with a time of 8:19.16. And Doyle coming in fifth, 8:21.99. And Davidson with a time of 8.25 in sixth position. But it's all Johnson here with 10 metres to go. Can she get the record? No, she can't. Just outside the Vic record. She hits the wall at 8:39.11. And the battle for second and third is Assam. Comes in at 8:44.86. And Dean's 8:46.45. That was a really good battle to watch, Steve.
It certainly wasn't.
And in lane number 3, Quebecer, fourth, 8:51.57. In fourth, Ralph, lane 9, 8:53.29. Doyle, 8:55.89. Fifth. In sixth, we have Davison Mack, 8:58.85 in lane number 7. And hitting the wall, Kinder with a time of 9:09.
In Melbourne Propulsion, and he actually might have caught them. Big leg from Zubcic. Propulsion 1, Yeronga Park 2, Propulsion 3, Surrey Park 4, Auburn 5, Kyle Young 6, that's from Southport Olympic. Thomas Halliday for MLC Aquatic coming through in 7th. But it's still Propulsion and Yeronga Park, and it's Win Het O who is nicely in front now from Yeronga Park. He's got a bit of a distance on them there. Robbie Dillison is also in third place for West Melbourne Propulsion, but it's Propulsion now all the way. Rowan Crothers has not been able to bridge that gap, and it's Robbie Dillison and Win Het O from Propulsion. It's Propulsion first, Yeronga Park second, Propulsion third, Surrey Park fourth, Auburn fifth, Southport Olympic sixth, MLC Aquatic seventh, and EC Waves with Connor Hayes coming in to 8th place.
We haven't seen Connor's father, have we?
I've been looking out for him.
And remember, these are timed finals.
Doing stretching for tomorrow.
So swum slowest entry time to fastest. The winning time there, keep your eye on that, 3:52.96. That needs to be better than the
Crowd are getting restless.
the top 3 in the next timed final to have a chance of a medal. So keep your eye on that, 3:52.96 when we get to the end.
Southside Penrose in lane 0, MLC Aquatic A in lane 1, Furbank Aquastars A in lane 2, Howard Pakarunga A in 3, Southport in A in 4, Nunna A 5, Nunna B 6, Vic Centre A 7, Northcote A 8, Surrey Park lane 9, Surrey Park A. Varying styles evident from the backstroke position, you can see.
And apologies to our viewers for that break in transmission. I didn't tell my fellow commentators, they were madly commentating.
Back up and running.
We are back up and running. Thank you everybody for your patience. We are watching the second of two-time finals, the men 4x100 metre medley. We'll just run through those teams again. Lane 0, Southside Penrose, MLC Aquatic in 1, Furbank Aquastars in 2, Howick Pakuranga in 3, Southport Olympic 4, 5 and 6 with 2 Nunawading teams. Lane 7, Melbourne Vic Centre, 8 Northcote, 9 Surrey Park.
It's a tasty split from Tristan Hollard, a very well-known national presence swimmer who's taken Southport Olympic out to a strong lead at the first changeover. Now, if they've got a top shelf breaststroker, that it could almost be put down your glasses here from Southport. And Clayton Fowler has come through at 124. Daniel Cave's hot in his heels, so he's not getting away. Brendan Smith from the Nunna A team is in third at 127.52, and they're turning the screws on him, particularly Daniel Cave. He's hunting like a lion here, Daniel Cave. He's going to bring Vic Centre in front. He's absolutely crashing through this field. This is a smashing leg from the Dolphin, Daniel Cave, who I said earlier is really starting to find some form. Look out for him at trials. That was a cracking leg. 157.94, Melbourne Vic Centre first, Southport Olympic second, Nunna A third, Howick Pakuranga fourth, Furbank Aquastars fifth, MLC Aquatic sixth. And it's now the enormously well-credentialed Matthew Temple who's turning it on for Nunawading. Theodoros Benahoutsos has still got the lead.
What a great name.
For the Melbourne Vic Centre club. And Temple's got to go even quicker if he's going to catch the golden Grecian there, Theodoros Benahoutsos. He can really butterfly this chap. He's got the head down now. 1, 2, and that's a lovely finish there. 2:52.02, and they've thrown it right down to Nunna. And if Nunna are going to get on top of the Vic Centre supremely talented A team, they're going to have to do something special, and Bowen Goff's perhaps the man to do it, but he's got to catch the doctor.
Tell you what, he's put a really great 50 metres in there. So turning for home is Gebby and Goff on the chase. So,
but it's Vic Centre. Vic Centre are going to do the job here. Big swim from Melbourne Vic Centre.
Southport turn in third place.
A former dominant club here in Melbourne, but they've got some top-end open swimmers who are holding the flame high, and Luke Gebby has done what he's expected to do and brought them home in 3:42.62. Bowen Goff for Nunna A has come in second, and Southport Olympic has come in third to pick up the bronze medal with a time of 3:49.99.
And I think you'll find
Pakuranga fourth, there, and Jacket Simpson brought Furbank Aquastars into fifth.
Subject to any disqualifications that might come through.
Yes, of course.
Those first 3 times are likely to be the medalists.
You're more likely to see the DQs at age level than open.
Yes.
The young children get very excited and do some of the things they've been trained not to do.
So coming up, we have 3 teams. So focus on, we'll just go to the medal ceremony first. In the background there, a bit cheeky.
Damo.
Moda or Damo.
Damo was.
It's good to see the swimmers having a bit of fun after their events tonight. I'm just so impressed with these facilities. I've never been here at night, but it's magnificent to be here.
It's a beautiful evening too for swimming. It's been a bit of a stinker of a day with high humidity and high temperature. We've had a bit of rain through the day, but gee, it's been a lovely evening.
So we've got 3 teams. We're kicking it off with the backstroke. In lane 3, we have Swimland Swim Club. In lane 4, Furbank Aquastars. And in lane 5, we have EC Wave Swim Club.
And again, timed finals for this event as well. So out of the 2 timed finals, the top 3 fastest teams will medal.
And this is the A team from each of these 3 clubs. So they've picked approximately the 4 best female swimmers they can find in the club, and asked them to group together and see how they go in a medley relay. So there's nothing between Emilia Chilaro and Sarah Cooper as to lanes 5 and 4, and it's Cooper just in front. She looks like she's going to roll out something in the order of about 106, could be 108. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 2, 1. Good swim. She's put her club in front with the EC Wave swimmer hot on their heels, and it's Ella Smith out in front for Furbank. Most of these girls you'll find are in years 11 or in years 12, so they've had a long week, second week of term, and what better thing to do than when you're doing a year 12 instead of going to nightclubs, dance clubs, parties and so forth. These wonderfully talented young ladies come to MSAC and dance the night away, showing us how skillful they are, and there's no Ella Smith is doing exactly that.
I love the name, Furbank Aquastars. Great name. So in 3rd position, out in lane 3, it's a Swimland Swim Sharks. And as you just mentioned, Smith in lane 4. Really good breaststroke there. And she's going to come hit the wall out in front. So it's the Furbank Aquastars in control so far. So they're in the middle lane, lane 4. So 2:26.29. Roberts out in lane 5 for the EC Wave Swim Club with 4 seconds behind, 2 minutes 30.90. And it is Swimland Swim Club in the time of 2 minutes 37. So Bream swimming this leg here. Beautiful stroke through the water, keeping her head nice and steady above the water. So turns from the 50-metre line. And Hay in lane number 5. She actually gained 3 seconds there, so she's rocketing through this section. So Hay seems to be really strong in this leg of the swim. So it's going to be the Furbank Aquastars who will come out in front. Their coach is really egging them on as we come into this last leg. So Bream hits the wall, and the Aquastars with a time of 3 minutes 35. And the EC Wave Swim Club behind by 4.5 seconds. So they're going to the freestyle leg now. So it's Rapkins absolutely flying through the water. Great critique, great form. She's really kicking those legs. She looks to bring it home. She comes for home, 50 metres to go. Rapkins, 4:03.65 for Team Furbank Aquastars. I do love that name. And the EC Waves Swim Club hit the wall with at 4 minutes 10.72 row. But it's all Rapkins here in lane number 4 in the middle lane. Just really bringing your team home strong. And her teammates are on the sidelines. And they look pretty happy down there. They finish at the time of 4 minutes 34.79. And it's the Aquastars who take that one out. It's going to be the Eastside Wave Swim Club in lane 5 who hits in second with a time of 4:43.71. And in third, 10 metres to go in lane number 3, the Swimland Swim Club hitting the wall with a time of 4:58.79. 2-3.
And the next timed final in this event. Some long-standing rivalries here between some Melbourne clubs. Surrey Park in lane 2, 2 Nunna teams in 3 and 4, 2 MLC teams in 5 and 7, Northcote in 6. This will be a ding-dong battle.
Ding-dong it will be, gents.
Auburn in 1 and Yeronga Park in 8.
Nunawading A has got the slickest entry time of 4:07.09. The MLC Aquatic A team with a 4:15.73 is the second fastest entered time, and the Nunawading B team with a 4:16.80 is the third fastest entry time. But it's the Nunawading swimmer in Sophie Caldwell who looks like she's going to lead them into the wall. No, Liv Lafoe, I do apologise to you, Liv. 31.39. It's getting late, and she's that's a very, very tasty first lap from Liv, and she's having a massive crack here.
She's been in a lot of events today.
She's one of the
absolutely exhausted.
Well, she's one of the very best 16-year-olds going around. She wins most medals gold medals that she enters into at States, and she's showing why she's so good. Now she's rolled out a 1:03.70, which is a very good time. She's put the MLC A team in front, and it's Nunna A coming in second, and Surrey Park in third. Now Gabrielle Parniger has got to hold off, if she can, Australia's best breaststroker in Jess Hansen. So this goes to show the standard of swimming here, because Gabby Parniger is one of the best swimmers going around in this pool. And Jess Hansen is, she is the best 100-metre breaststroker in Australia, and she's showing us why.
She's just put on the jets, hasn't she?
So this is quite a devastating leg here by the Nunawading A team, because they've gone from second to first by an absolute mile, and it's just about put down your glasses for the gold medal. It's a great leg from Jess Hansen here.
She's actually steamed that leg.
Oh yes, she's gone past some very good swimmers, and put in a world-class swim there. Now this is Kayla Costa, I think, out in front by the look of it, and yes it is, and she's just not going to be beaten. And it's Zoe Deacon in the Isabella Boyd for the Nunna B team, who have moved their way into second. Bethany Dalgleish, the 200-metre butterfly from MLC Aquatics there, and Georgia Watkins from Surrey Park is out there very well placed as well. So it's Nunna A all the way, and Nunna B coming in second. But let there be no doubt, this is a very high quality Nunna A team. I don't know what the record is, but they're going to give it a shake.
4:02.20, so going to have to bring this last leg home in around 55 seconds.
Doable. 3:12.47. So Nunna A into the wall at 3:12.47. Nunna B coming in. Now they're going to be something around 3:24, 3:23.34. Vic Bushell from Norfolk is 3:25.63, and Beth Dalgleish has done a great job. MLC in 4th place, and off they go. It's a cracking race for bronze. It's put down your glasses for gold. Julia Hawkins, a very experienced, highly credentialed freestyler from Nunawading. The only question here is, what number? So they have got a 20-metre lead here, Nunawading. And Isabel Eckelmans from MLC's got them, that club into 3rd place, but it's Nunneray all the way. Bang, beautiful time of 4:08. Now that's not a record, but it's a smashing time tonight. And they were never going to be beaten once that Jess Hansen destroyed the field. Nunna B coming in 2nd place. Chantel Underwood, strong swim, 4:20.57. And the MLC Aquatic Club with 4:24.20 has come in with the bronze medal. Northcote 4th and Surrey Park 5th. And they've pretty much swum that to form.
Very well called there, Steve. Very impressive by Nunna A. Just completely blitzed the field really in the end.
And that is the end of the swimming, but we do have a few more medal presentations to finish off tonight. So stick with us, particularly if your loved one or friend is going to be up on the dais.
And make sure you get down here in the next couple of days. Got some cracking weather over.
Oh, hang on. No, that's all right. They're just clearing the pool. I beg your pardon. I heard the whistle and I got a bit excited.
But if you're around the area, or if you're not around the area, free entry all weekend to the Victorian Swim Open and the para qualifiers. So bring on all your kids down, and should be a great weekend ahead. Free entry. And we're going to go to the medal ceremony.
And we will have medal ceremonies for those last 2 relays. I think we will. Just looking over there to see whether those swimmers are. Yes, they are. They're almost ready. Just putting on their club jackets. I would have thought we'd do the boys first, but the boys may not be over there. It looks like the girls are over there. And we're getting ready for that. Just a reminder, swimming starts at 8:30 a.m. We'll be back on the live stream then with all our friends from around Australia and overseas. Can you ask Jane if they're doing a medal presentation, please?
Victoria for winning. Congratulations to Victoria.
Big shout out to Victoria for taking it out.
I did my best to lift Queensland, but unfortunately Victoria were victorious.
Just wishing all the swimmers from Australia who swam in the Australian Swim to Tokyo. Congratulations, you did a fantastic job.
Gabriella Paniga, Bethany Dalglish and Isabel Eckelmans. In second place, and winners of the silver medals. Represented by Jessica Griffin, Zoe Cameron, Michaela Smith and Chantal Underwood. And in first place, and winners of the gold medals.
Well, what a terrific day it's been today, Rob. It's been terrific working with you today. It's been
Thank you.
Great.
Likewise.
A great exhibition of swimming. Wonderful weather. Wonderful night. Some really proud moments for all sorts of families, parents, children, kids of age 12 swimming for the first time, and we're seeing, and I can assure you that there's 12 young ladies on that podium. Each of them have done great things in the sport from a tender age, and it's a wonderful sight to see. I recognise them all, and thank you all so much for the opportunity to be with you today, and we look forward to coming back to you tomorrow with some pretty amazing racing on tomorrow. Men's 200 IM, men's 800 free, women's 400 free, women's 100 backstroke, the sprinting events of 50 freestyle for women, you name it, we've all got it.
So the final medal ceremony of the night. Congratulations to all those young men doing their clubs proud.
In second place, and winners of the silver medals, Southport Olympic A, represented by Tristan Pollard, Clayton Fowler, Nicholas Rosas, and Matthew Stanley. And in first place, and winners of the gold medal, 19 Centre A, represented by Jack Jarrett, Daniel Kay, Theodore Benedicis, and Nick Beck.
So to all the viewers, we appreciate you joining this live Facebook feed. It's been a magnificent day of racing, all the way from the qualifiers this morning through to the finals tonight. Signing off on day number 1 of the Vic Swim Open, and we look forward to rejoining you tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Make sure you be there or be square, and we'll sign off tonight and see you tomorrow morning.
Thanks
you, gents.
for watching. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.